guys, it's Jessie V. So today I have a story time for you, and I honestly have no idea how this story popped into my head because it's the most random story time ever. I haven't even thought about this memory in like 7 years. But the other day before bed, it just popped into my mind and I was like, I could tell that. It's kind of funny, honestly, to look back on, but at the time, it was a terrifying, horrible experience for me. So let me give a little background before I get really into it. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know that when I was young, I was extremely skinny, and that didn't change until up to like 4 years ago. So I believe this story takes place when I was maybe 11 years old, and at that time, I think I was like 15 pounds underweight. I remember all the kids at my school called me a stick, and people would walk up to me and like hold up my arms and be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you? Just because it was literally like holding up a twig. So it got to the point where my parents and my family, just everybody were so concerned about me. And it wasn't because I wasn't eating. I was eating all of the time. I probably ate more food than my entire family combined. I just had a super fast metabolism, I assume. But the doctor said that our family really had to do something about this because it's extremely dangerous to be that underweight. So my parents came up with this idea. I can't remember what exactly they're called, but they're like these little bottles. I think they're protein shakes or something. It's something where they mash up all this protein and kind of food and blend it up and shove it in like this disgusting drink. And guys, it literally tastes like barf. Okay? But apparently if you drink one of those, it's like a meal replacement. So because I was so underweight, what they wanted me to do was eat my dinner and then afterwards drink this shake. So it's kind of like having 2 meals in one. And I was also very picky back then, so that idea just wouldn't sit well with me. So my parents had to sort of think of a way to trick me into drinking it, which is where this whole story comes in, okay? And I know this is about a commercial and we'll get there. We will get there. So basically one day my parents decided to take my sister and I to Niagara Falls to stay at our hotel. It was a really nice hotel. I can't remember what it was, but it had a ton of like just kids activities there, like indoor bike riding, all these like jungle gyms. It was like a kid's dream. It was great. And honestly, I feel like they took me there to distract me from the fact that I would have to start taking these disgusting meal replacement drinks. So one day they took us to this fancy restaurant in Niagara Falls and they packed the little protein drinks in their bags. So we sat down, we eat our dinner. I finished all of it, of course. I probably had like chicken fingers or something. We're laughing, we're having a great time. And this man walks over with this giant video camera and a couple crew members. And he comes up and he's like,
listen, your family looks so happy. It looks like you guys are having a great time. We are shooting a commercial for this hotel at Niagara Falls. And we'd love to get footage of different families eating their meals and laughing and talking. And you guys like just fit the perfect image of that.
So they asked us our permission to film us for this commercial. And of course we were like, yeah, that's fine, no worries, no problem. And he said that he would be back in about 5 minutes. He just had to get more like stuff for the commercial, just like setup stuff. I don't really know. But he left for 5 minutes and my parents chose that time to bring out the protein shake. So they pull it out of the bag and they have a glass and they pour it into the glass, and this stuff was dark brown, okay? It looked like they were pouring in like mud or something that comes out of your behind. But to trick me, they were like, listen, we brought you girls a chocolate milkshake. So at first I was like,
oh, that sounds wonderful. I love dessert. That'd be great, thank you.
But then I look at Mandy and she doesn't have one. Mandy's my sister, by the way. So I asked my dad, I'm like,
okay, so if you brought it for us, why am I the only one drinking it?
And of course, Mandy wasn't in on this plan, so she thought she wasn't getting a chocolate milkshake. So she's like, yeah, Dad, like, where's my chocolate milkshake? So my dad was like, uh-oh, I didn't think this through. So he turns to me and he's like,
well, you've been a really good girl today, so you're gonna get a chocolate milkshake, and Mandy, you will get an even bigger chocolate milkshake tonight, okay?
So Mandy was fine with that because a bigger chocolate milkshake sounded great. So I pulled the glass up to me and like, ugh, I can tell right away that it's not really milkshake texture because it's almost like a solid in a cup. And I start to put it up to my nose and my dad's like,
don't smell it. Just don't smell it. Just drink it. Don't smell it, alright?
But of course, when someone tells you not to smell something, you want to smell it. So I smelled it. And guys, I remember this scent all these years later. It was horrible. It was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like smelling a garbage bin, a burp, freshly mowed lawn. I don't even know. It didn't smell human. It didn't smell like it was made for humans. So instantly, I just started gagging. I'm like,
What kind of milkshake is this?
and my dad was like,
Listen, don't judge a milkshake by its smell. You just gotta drink it.
so I was like, okay, well maybe it's just a weird smelling milkshake. So I took one sip and instantly spit it back into the cup because ugh. And that's when my parents started getting frustrated because obviously they wanted me to gain weight, they wanted me to drink this milkshake. So they started saying things like,
Listen, we are not leaving this table until that entire drink is in your tummy, okay?
and I was like refusing because I didn't want to drink it. So they started saying other things like,
Listen, no jungle gym tomorrow if you don't drink that milkshake.
they were taking all these privileges away from me unless I drank it. So there I was, an 11-year-old with this giant glass of just poop in front of me, and I was so overwhelmed that I started bursting out into tears, okay? And just as I started crying, this man walks over with his video camera. You see my parents sitting at the table fuming, almost pulling their hair out. Mandy's there like, what the heck is going on? I'm crying with this giant thing in front of me. And the guy's like,
What happened? You guys were so happy. What happened?
so my parents were trying to just be like,
Oh, kids. Kids, they're just so emotional. Children. Children are so emotional.
but this guy was still insistent on filming this commercial. So he was like,
Okay, I just want you guys to get back into the mindset of where you were. Try and be happy again. Put on some smiles.
and I really did want to be in this commercial. It sounded really exciting. So in the first few seconds of him filming, we're trying to smile again as a family. And of course it's forced. We're all like, but as we're sitting there filming this commercial, everything my parents said started flooding back into my head. I was like,
Oh my gosh, I cannot leave this restaurant until I drink this. I cannot have fun tomorrow until I drink this.
and the waft of the drink is just surrounding my face. So I just start bawling my eyes out again. So the guy like filming the thing is like,
Welcome to beautiful Niagara Falls, where families love to sit together and eat.
and I'm like,
I can't do this!
oh my gosh, it was so embarrassing. Like, you have no idea. My parents' faces were red. Everybody in the restaurant's just looking over at us. They're probably thinking like, what kind of commercial are they filming? And I bet this guy tried to make me laugh like 20 times. And each time I would start to, I'd be like, like, he just couldn't get me to stay focused. So after like 20 minutes, he was like,
You know what? I can't do this. I can't do this. There's something wrong with your family, alright? Get yourself sorted out because I'm leaving, alright?
and that was the end of it. That was the time that I bawled my eyes out during a commercial, and obviously that commercial never aired because why would they air that? It would have been so cool if I could have put like a clip of that in this video, but yeah, I'm sure they destroyed that footage right away. In the end, I think my parents and I compromised that I would drink half of the disgusting drink. So that's what I did for like the next 4 months. I'd have half of the drink after every meal, and maybe I gained a couple pounds, but it really didn't help that much. And yeah, just up until 4 years ago is when I actually started gaining weight again. So I don't know. I just thought this was an entertaining story. Maybe it wasn't. Who knows? I was a weird child. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy it. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and until next time, bye!